In this video, we'll be discussing the real truth behind real estate wholesaling businesses and advertised educational courses, and why it'll derail your career in real estate. By the end of this video, you'll understand the harsh realities of the wholesaling business and save yourself a lot of time and a ton of money. Hi everyone, I'm Evan Schwecke, your Swipe Left for Success host and CEO of Delarosa Lending Group. We are a hard money lender, as well as investors in multifamily, fix and flips, and commercial real estate development. Swipe Left for Success looks at those moments and experiences that may not have been the conventional or sometimes even the smartest choices, but were the success game changers for our guests, as well as delving into new ideas and overcoming challenges to maximize the success and profitability of your real estate business or entrepreneurial venture. By now, most of you know how much I emphasize the role education plays in improving your skill set and enabling you to be the best at your craft. How many times have we heard about a great course that will teach us everything we need to know about our area of interest? How many times have we gotten so excited about that perfect course and given out our credit card information only to discover that the only one making money from these courses are the course sponsors? I know I have. We end up feeling deflated and frustrated. Just for kicks, every so often, I'll register for one of those advertised free real estate seminars to see what the latest hook is. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you just have to. Most of the attendees at these events don't look like they have money to throw at real estate courses, let alone real estate investments. At a recent seminar on wholesaling, I mingled with some of the attendees before the start of the program and made some small talk to get a feel for their backgrounds. One guy had been unemployed for the last 14 months. Another woman I spoke to said she worked 50 hours a week at a laundromat and had called in sick to attend this event. The next thing I know, a smartly dressed speaker wearing an expensive Armani-looking sport jacket walks in, and in the first 5 minutes we learned that he was once a student of the program and was now himself a hugely successful wholesaler. What a surprise! He begins asking a litany of questions that you find at all of these seminars, where all hands go up because there's only one answer. Questions like, how many of you hate your jobs? Who wants to change the course of their life? How many of you believe you can make money in real estate? Who wants to stop working for the man or woman and now run your own real estate empire? Surprisingly, I didn't see one person there who loved their job, who didn't want to change the course of their life, who didn't believe there was money to be made in real estate, and who didn't want to become financially independent. Funny, he never asked the most important question of all. How many of you are going to max out your credit card to pay me thousands of dollars for information that'll be relatively useless in building your career in real estate? Hands? For the next 90 minutes, we were told multiple times that the seminar sponsor is the #1 wholesaling coach in the country. And then, of course, the instructor declares that wholesaling is the only smart way to get involved in real estate. And better yet, you don't need any money to start your wholesaling business, and you can make a 5-figure monthly income. Picture all of us sitting at the edge of our seats, taking in every word in anticipation of receiving the magic wholesaling genius formula. 90 minutes later, our butts and legs are sore from being kept in suspense so long, only to be told that the critical information can't be disclosed in one session. We had to sign up for the 2-day course for $5,000 before they could consider getting into the details of the how-tos of wholesaling. But we were all so lucky because if we signed up today, we'd get a 50% discount off of the regular $5,000 tuition. I think by now you understand where I'm going with this. We're here to keep it real so that you don't do something foolish that sets you back in your quest to start a viable real estate investing business. The only ones building wealth at these types of events are the course sponsors themselves. Unrealistic promises combined with even more unrealistic expectations on the part of those attendees equals disappointment when course graduates realize the course fees are greater than the profit potential running a wholesale business. I'm only picking on the wholesaling business because it has become the central focus of most marketed real estate courses. These real estate gurus prey on the most vulnerable, the cash-poor attendee who will always gravitate towards someone who tells them they can become a millionaire in real estate without money. All of us want to become wealthy in real estate and own our own private island. I get that. The only problem is none of us are going to get there through wholesaling. It was crazy to listen to the person running the seminar touting how you could easily be making a six-figure income after 15 or 20 wholesale deals a year. Easy? If it were that easy, I would leave my lending business in a heartbeat. So what is real estate wholesaling, and why should you stay away from considering becoming a wholesaler? A wholesaler has to find a seller willing to sell their property for an agreed upon price considerably lower than the market value. The wholesaler never actually purchases a property, but gets the seller to sign a contract allowing them to assign their rights to the purchase agreement to another entity. The wholesaler then markets a property to investors, hopefully finding one to purchase a property and pay the wholesaler a fee, which can be anywhere from $2,000 to $15,000 on most deals. There is no doubt that some people have made money wholesaling, but I'm here to give you 3 basic reasons you should stay away from wholesaling. First, think about it for a minute. For a deal to work, the wholesaler has to get the house under contract for less than fair market value and then assign that contract to a real estate investor who can then sell the property for much more after they fix up the place. There aren't as many such properties as you might think. Unless you find a seller who's looking to sell a distressed real estate property, it's hard to find great deals, and even harder to find them in good areas. Many of these deals exist because they're in challenging neighborhoods. Keep in mind, you and hundreds of other amateurs and professional wholesalers will be looking for the same type of properties. Wholesale deals are so much harder to find than rehab deals because they're off market and therefore they're not advertised anywhere. You physically have to find the properties, find the owners, and convince them to work with you. Second, contrary to what these real estate gurus lead you to believe, you will need money to get into the wholesaling business, and lots of it. You'll need marketing materials to start finding motivated sellers and other leads once you find those potential opportunities. You may need to pay for services that can help you find the owner contact information. While it's possible to stumble upon your first deal with no money, it's highly unlikely. The few who succeed, and I mean really succeed at wholesaling, typically spend upwards of $30,000 a month sending out mailers and scouting out viable properties. That's $360,000 a year. You could make a killing flipping or building a rental portfolio with that kind of capital. Third, real estate wholesaling does not provide you with a steady income and requires many, many hours a week of scouting and marketing. And if you do find something, finding investors. If you are really going to be successful, this has to be your day job, not something that you do as a side hustle. You can't just expect to have a paycheck every 2 weeks or even every month. There may be months when you have no income coming in. You'd be so much better off spending your time developing and growing your real estate investing business. If you are lucky enough to find a property for sale, it would be a shame to give it away for essentially a realtor's commission. You will be leaving so much money on the table. The property on a typical fix and flip deal might be anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000 available to the investor who makes the repairs. Why would you want to give those profits away after working so hard to find a gem that everyone else missed? You probably want to wring my neck right now and look me in the eye and tell me the whole reason I started wholesaling is because I don't have money to do the rehab on my own, Evan. And that may be true. But you do have something of value if you get lucky enough to find a great deal. And that is a ton of profits that can be shared without having you put up any money for the renovations. So if you do get lucky enough to find yourself in the middle of a wholesaling opportunity, here's what you need to do to get more than just a commission for all of your hard work. Find out who the reputable rehabbers are in the area. Talk with them. Tell them you want to break into the business, but you don't have the cash right now to get involved in rehabbing this particular project. Tell the flipper you will work your butt off to find other deals, and you will bring it exclusively to their attention if they're willing to go 50-50 or no less than 60-40 split of the profits. You might be surprised at how many flippers would say yes in a heartbeat, as finding good properties for flipping is not so easy either. I've given you a best case scenario of how to squeeze as much a profit for yourself if you get lucky enough to find a juicy wholesale deal. The wholesaling business is very tricky, and without some serious money to get you started, you will be setting yourself up for failure. If you did have money, everything else being equal, your rate of return flipping houses would be significantly greater than wholesaling. In the 20+ years I've been involved in real estate, 95% of people who attempt to wholesale never get a single deal done. However, our hard money borrowers do make money on 95% of their deals. The next time someone approaches you about making piles of cash wholesaling, run in the opposite direction. Are you, or do you know any full-time real estate wholesalers? Ask them how their business is doing, really doing. Make sure they're not just giving you some fluff. Ask them how many houses they've wholesaled in the last year. Why haven't they considered flipping homes if they're finding decent properties via wholesaling? What courses did they take, and did they find them helpful? We would love for you to share that information with us, because the more information that we can share with each other, the better off we'll all be. Thanks for tuning in. If you really like the show, please share this video with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Swipe Left for Success. Stay tuned for new weekly episodes offering real estate investors and entrepreneurs practical advice and ideas to help grow your business and achieve the success you envision. Let us know about any topics you'd like us to explore in the comments section below. We are listening. And we'll see you at the top.